My name is Gabriel Bart. I was born in France, but I was lucky enough to spend my childhood in Jarma, a small and wonderful kingdom in the Far East. I never tired of hearing about the ancient history and folklore of that exotic country, and was often enchanted by studying its stories in the wall paintings inside the sacred temple. The Temple of the White Elephant. It was worshipped in Jarma like a god and represented the strength and prosperity of the kingdom. The first to tell me about the legendary doings of the heroes of Jarma was the high priest, Li. That wise monk was responsible for the foundations of my education. It was he who was responsible for the care of the temple as well as my spirit. I was happy in Jarma, especially in the gardens of the royal palace with its scent of sandalwood and magnolias, not least because I had very special companions to play with, Prince Mandy and Princess Maya, the king's two children. I preferred Maya, though sometimes I had trouble recognizing her. She and Mandy were identical twins. It amused them to dress alike and confuse me.
Which of us is Mandy? Which of us is Maya? I bet you could guess.
You are Maya.
That was wrong. Guess my real name, and then you get a nice surprise you never ever thought of.
Maya,
You're right, you guessed it.
you're very silly. You know you can't come in here. If they catch us here together...
Are you scared?
No, but it's forbidden. This place is sacred.
I wanted to speak to you alone, but you know my brother's always around. So, playing together is something you and I can never do again.
What are you saying? That's not true. We can still play together. Forever.
Gabriel, that isn't going to be so. You're going to make a big journey. Your father told mine you'd be gone soon. To Europe, to a boarding school.
Don't cry. I'm sure I'm not going. I'll refuse to.
You must go. It's important. You can't disobey your father. Don't forget me. Just promise me that. I want you to take this scarf. Here, remember the meaning of this knot is, I won't forget you, Dad. And you'll think of me whenever you see it.
I was to carry that kiss in my heart for many years to come. Like memories of my master, not knowing then how our lives were to be changed by the extraordinary events unfolding.
Easy there, Azazel. No. No need to be anxious. This is a special gift. You almost let me lose him.
You never disappoint me, Monsieur Bart.
Very gracious, Your Majesty.
What a beautiful melody. Where did it originate?
A distant country where they put everything to music, even political intrigue and betrayal. It's how they spend most of their time.
Yes. It must be a strange place. What did you bring me, Monsieur Bart?
An instrument with a less amiable voice.
U.S. cavalry rifle.
Yes, it's American.
It's wonderful.
A very accurate weapon, Your Highness.
You Europeans never tire of inventing new ways for improving this marvelous world. But at the same time, you make modern weapons to secure them.
Or to help defend our faithful allies from their enemies.
When the whole of Indochina is allied to France, Monsieur Bart, who'll defend you from yourselves? Let the festivities continue.
If I could have a word, Monsieur Bart. Surely your son has returned. Is my birthday party not to his liking?
Communications between Jarma and France are not perfect. And, well, Gabriel is grown up now. Some affair of the heart could well have detained him there.
Well, in that case, I hope he stays where he is.
Can't you paddle any faster? We'll never get there at this rate.
In 12 months, she have new birthday.
I returned from Paris, where my father had sent me to study at a military academy.
All right, get
I was
closer.
20, but I'll allow no one to tell me it was the best time of my life.
Take my luggage to Monsieur Bart's, understand?
Yes, I take
That's
luggage
right,
to
take
house.
it to Monsieur Bart's bungalow.
My happy childhood in Jarma had remained in my heart, and, above all, I couldn't wait to set eyes on Maya once more.
Hey! Give me a ride to the Royal Palace. I'll pay you well, but you must go fast.
All right, get up.
I beg you, hurry!
Drive away, Remo!
Who do you think you are? Here, cling on to me. My scar.
Greetings. I hope I'm not too late, Your Majesty.
Guests are welcome in Jarma, even strangers. Who are you?
Johann Rud of Java.
And a reason to visit us?
I bear gifts for your children on the occasion of their birthday festivities.
We're pleased by your kindness, and happy to receive your gifts.
Well spoken, sire. This horse is for you, Prince Mandy. A rare breed from the deserts of Arabia. And this, Princess, is for you, though not so beautiful. On it is engraved a Hindu tale in honor of your name, the cycle of Maya, her life, with all the joy and pain that will accompany you. Open it, Your Highness, and see what it contains.
Oh, it's magnificent. What a beautiful object. I'm most grateful.
Those white petals could be more valuable than gold or even diamonds for Jarma, Your Majesty.
This is a flower I do not know, Father.
Your Majesty, this flower produces opium. And this man's the most famous drug dealer in the East.
I know who he is. The barons in my kingdom told me what I need to know, and what the advantages of such a trade could be to us.
Your Majesty, I hope they told you that opium production means 1,000% profit, and that in this knowledge you would agree to authorize its cultivation in the fertile plains of Jarma.
A man is a fool to despise money.
You only bring us gifts because you want something in return, it appears.
That is not quite accurate, Your Majesty. You've a lot to gain. I'm offering you the chance to save the German state from complete economic ruin. The first 5 years' profits from sales will go entirely to you if I get your unequivocal permission to grow these plants here. An opportunity your beautiful but destitute country cannot refuse.
You'll hear when I've made my decision.
Do your duty as husband.
I don't agree with Loyan, sire. You must refuse. That man Rudd represents obscure foreign interests. It's far more dangerous to accept his offer than to refuse it. Opium production's a danger to the population, illegal and immoral.
We cannot afford to refuse, Your Majesty. That man was sent by the gods.
The gods, huh? Well, they don't have land-needing cultivation, like you and the barons. But the coffers of state have run dry. There's about to be a famine. Loyan is right. It's the best chance we'll get.
There is an alternative, sire.
Go on, Bart.
The Bank of Indochina. I asked them to study the problem, and they're willing to cover your debts here in Jarma. A representative is on his way to see you.
They're sure to want guarantees. They don't give money away. Do not trust them, Your Majesty. The Bank of Indochina means France, and France has a greedy eye on Jarma.
If France wanted to colonize this country, it would have done so a long, long time ago. It's more to their advantage to keep us independent. For the time being, at least. My friend, I am overjoyed to see you.
You called me, and I came.
Mandy! You see? When will you learn to leave that beast alone?
Don't be so nervous.
That animal's a fiend. And the Dutchman's even worse than the horse.
It isn't the Dutchman who's making you nervous. It's more likely a young Frenchman.
Don't be an imbecile. And let that horse be. It'll kill you.
I'm far more likely to tame this horse than you are to see Gabriel suddenly appear again.
All right, see if I care. Go and break your neck.
I'm sorry, but I have little experience of such things. Your wise advisors must certainly know better than I about matters of government. But I am well acquainted with the effects of opium. Opium offers a golden dream, an easy escape from reality. But once the effects of the artificial stimulant are over, there's only a deep abyss, a pit of pain and desperate suffering.
Well then, what do you propose? That we all beg for charity like the monks of your order?
I'm not the one who governs the economy of the country.
Our wise religious leader has all the qualities to be a saint, but as he himself admits, he has always dedicated his time to meditation. So, how can he advise us on matters of state?
Not going out by the door, you can still know the world. Not glancing to the window, you can still view the sky. When's the banker coming, Bart?
He's due to arrive here tomorrow.
I have decided to refuse the Dutchman's offer. Loyanyo may inform him.
As you wish, sire.
You can withdraw now, Bart.
Till later, sire.
Your Majesty.
I am king, but I made many mistakes. I should have done like my ancestors, massacred all foreigners, and then started a war.
You did not because you were wise. And besides, not only evil comes from foreigners. It is we who take the worst from them, their weapons, and wanton greed and lust. Of course, often we refuse their best, their medicines and modern machines.
Tired is what I begin to be. And this world is a mystery to me. My son will soon be the young king of Jarma and fill it with his energy. He'll be a better king than I.
If that's how the gods want it.
Mandy?
Gabriel. At last you've returned. It's so good to see you. But how did you get in such a mess?
It must be the horse's fault. What about the mess you're in?
Another faulty horse. Why didn't you have yourself announced?
I had trouble being allowed in, that's all.
My father interrupted the festivities. I made a bet with Maya that you had forgotten it.
Where is Maya?
You haven't seen her for a long time. It's better you don't.
Mandy, I don't understand. Tell me, where is she?
The Temple of the Elephant. That's where she always goes when she's feeling sad. Here, take this. If you're stopped, just show it to the guards.
Thank you.
Hey, be good, my beauty.
Maya, what's the matter? Are you afraid? You're very silly. You know you can't come in here. If they catch us. Maya?
Maya?
Who's there? Come closer. Gabriel. You're changed.
So are you. I didn't forget.
Many happy returns. This used to belong to my dead mother, but I want you to have it. Is anything wrong? You don't seem pleased I'm back.
You've been gone for 7 years. I missed you, yet assumed you'd forgotten. I kept faith. You remained in my heart. Asleep or awake.
It's so good to hear that you remembered.
7 years, Gabriel. Complete silence from you, not a letter to read, nor card telling me if you were alive or dead.
That's impossible. I wrote you every day. You never replied to my letters. I told myself you'd forgotten me, and tried hard to understand you. After all, you were only a child and far away. And I held your scarf and pretended it was you.
My scarf. You still have it? Shame on you.
I told the truth. I sent them to my father to pass on to you.
He came often to see my father at the palace, and I didn't get a single message or bit of news.
But I'm not lying, Maya. Besides, why fight? I want to talk to you.
You must have so much to say.
I wrote to you often, I swear to you.
What happened to your letters, Gabrielle? Just go. We can't be friends.
Maya.
The tale of your letters is as real as the one about the elephant who could fly.
Where are they?
You haven't even changed your clothes. Ask your father, Monsieur Bart.
After years together, you still call him Monsieur Bart? Where can they be? Where's he hidden my letters?
Maybe it's wrong to tell you, but I think I have what you're looking for.
But why? Why?
Monsieur Bart said it was a childish infatuation. That you must forget her, and that the princess must forget you too.
Gabriel, good Lord. I wasn't expecting to see you here. You're a grown man, my son. I'm glad to see you looking fine.
You kept them from her.
I told you to destroy them.
I hope you have a good reason.
Son, being your father hasn't always been easy. When your mother became ill and died, I had no choice but to send you to a decent school in France for your own good. You won't remember, but emotionally you lost control. You rebelled. It was impossible for me to understand you. I felt you must sever your ties with Jarma, extinguish the morbid sort of sentiments you nurtured for the princess while there was still time.
You stepped in too late.
I forbid this. I'm putting a stop to it. You don't know what love is. It's all in your imagination. What do you think? That I don't notice that Maya's a lovely girl? She's a delicate flower. But of another race.
That's what maddens you. That she's a born princess. If she'd been a simple village girl, I could make her my concubine like you did.
All right. All right. Think what you like. But you're wrong. You don't know. You know nothing about me.
Of course. But whose fault is it? You can count on one thing. I plan to be different from you.
Oh, Loyan, welcome to you. This way, the Dutchman is in his tent.
Well, what did you expect the king to say? Welcome, Jarma's all yours, my friend. No, I counted on his initial refusal.
The French banker is due to arrive tomorrow. Did you foresee his coming as well?
I hate foreseeing things, it's boring. I prefer fate to shuffle the cards, then I play. That's exciting. All you have to do is make sure the prince keeps up his interest in riding. Not so hard. Here, have a drink.
My order doesn't allow me to drink.
But it does allow you to betray your sovereign.
Great reforms have often been born of betrayal.
Your health.
There's no need to look so sad, my sweet. Your Uncle Lotharius will see you get lots of nice things.
Hey, go back! Go back! Get out of the way! There's no room! What are you doing? You can't come on board! Out of my way! Help! We're being boarded by pirates!
Stop the boat if you want to live.
I'm a citizen of the Republic of France, and I forbid you to...
Come on, Lotharius. Take it easy. Doesn't the sight of an old friend please you?
Run. So what do you want?
I want Jarma.
Your mad impulses are frightening.
Lotharius. Don't make me nervous.
A display like that will get you nowhere.
You told me an act of force always speeds things up.
You wouldn't dare.
Need I remind you who you were? If you can manage a bank, I can be a king without losing any sweat.
Ah. So that's what's in your head, is it?
The French would be happy to see a white Raja on the throne in Jarma.
Jarma already has a king, and an heir to the throne.
That's just a detail. No great obstacle.
And Bart?
Bart's a European. He'd never oppose another white man's mission.
Will he be all right, Doctor?
Ow. That hurts.
Joey, give me the disinfectant.
He'll die just like his brother.
No, you won't. He must just stay here a few days and take this medicine.
No. His father say white man's medicine no good.
That's
I
absurd.
cannot
This
disobey
will turn
him. He
quickly.
will hit me.
He must take it. Wait a second. Listen to me.
I
That's the
take
worst
it
thing you
now,
could do.
before I get sicker.
No match for this. Damn natives drive me to drink. This is a hospital, not a hotel. Haven't you a home?
Not anymore.
Caroline came here while you were asleep and told me everything. Drink?
You drink. Mr. Warner didn't like it. He said no alcohol, no drinking.
My husband was just like that woman. If he'd had more faith in Quainan and less in his prayers, he'd still be with us.
I've been an idiot to think she loved me. If Maya could treat me like that, I must mean nothing to her.
No.
You offered me a drink.
Yes, but now change my mind. Alcohol's good for frustrated doctors, but the lovesick don't need it. You behave like a school kid. She hadn't seen you for years, never got any of your letters. You turn up, suddenly expect her to fall at your feet. She's a princess. Look, if she's so important to you, take her a gift, a bunch of flowers. I forget what lovers do. If I ever knew.
To make her believe me, I'd have to fly an elephant.
And what's easier? Ask him. Joey's a master at making elephants fly.
How can love be transformed into hatred? How did it happen?
What's wrong? Are you sorry you treated Gabriel so badly?
He's a monster. He broke his sacred promise to me.
Gabriel never lied to you.
How do you know?
I just do.
Mandy. Tell me. Go on, say it.
Your letters were never sent to him. They never left the palace because our father gave orders for them to be destroyed.
That's not possible.
But I managed to save most of them for you.
You're wonderful.
I thought they might be useful to you one day, no? Oh, look out there.
What is it?
A kite. A white elephant.
And flying.
So elephants do fly. Up into the sky. Up you go. Up you go.
It can do all sorts of things. I made it myself. I even got better ones. There's a shark. He can do spectacular acrobatics. Shall we try?
In a minute. A minute.
What's the matter with him? He's a bit crazy?
Something like that. The boy's in love.
That's nasty. Could it happen to us too, Marianne?
No, I'm immune. But you aren't. It'll happen to you one day.
Oh, I hope not.
Well, here are the letters. Maybe you can read them now.
Here, you can read mine.
You remain with me always.
Me too. But I started to hate.
Are you sure it wasn't love? Come here.
I've had a very long, tiring journey. I hope it's going to be worth it.
All the treasure of Jarma is available to the bank you represent, Mr. Matthias.
I can't wait.
These treasures fill 4 pavilions, but this one contains the most precious object of all, the elephant of Rajapur, carved from a single gigantic emerald, immensely valuable. Some even say priceless.
I'm afraid that in the vocabulary of my profession, the word priceless doesn't exist. I would estimate that on the open market in Hong Kong, this treasure would barely cover Jarma's national debt.
I'm sure His Majesty will bow to reason. He will sign.
How dare that moneylender demand the royal treasure as collateral?
Sire, he's a banker, protecting his interests, which happen to coincide with yours.
We could pledge this year's tea harvest.
Competition from China has sent down the price, sire.
Your concern with the monetary worth is odious. The treasure represents the memory of Jarma. You're suggesting that I pawn the history of the population.
Why not? To ensure its survival. The guarantee's a formality, that's all. You'll have my signature to pledge my word, my honor.
And you, what do you think?
Your Majesty, I'm so impressed with your treasure. It's wonderful.
Good. All those that tried to steal it in the past have been beheaded to preserve it. Very well, let us proceed. I'm ready to sign this damn mortgage agreement.
Our world is beginning to change, O Tenta. Difficult times lie ahead for Jarma, but it's written that out of evil shall come forth good. But maybe neither of us will be here to see what the future has in store.
The thought that my thoughts cannot touch you is killing me. Who did you copy that from?
Master. I'm so happy to see you. I missed you, my friend.
You've become a man, Gabriel. Has so much time gone by?
Does it exist? Tell me time is only in the mind.
When pressed for an answer, I don't know. You continue to nourish your soul without me.
Now we can do as we did when we were children. We'll come to you for lessons every day.
Love is the greatest of all masters, and it can show you the way in an instant. But great difficulties lie ahead. This world is afraid of those whose skin is a different color, or who speak a different language. Fear generates hate. You must be cautious. In Jarma, there is a law that forbids mixed unions. The punishment is death.
But that law's out of date and barbaric.
But no one has ever openly defied it.
It's old and foolish. A change is coming.
The path to change is insidious, Gabriel. It's full of traps laid by the old men. Once you take it, There is no turning back.
I'm ready.
So shall we try to convince the old men? Go home and speak to your father calmly, man to man. I'll try to reason with our obstinate king.
Please.
Gabriel!
Damn it, you win.
You give up too easily, Prince Mandy.
Well, mount it yourself. Let's see if you're able to do better.
Don't be nervous, Azazel. You know where your duty lies. You were bred to help me win this kingdom. Come on. Azazel can only be ridden by a king.
But that's something you're not.
I never knew who my father was, but as for him, he knows his rightful ruler. You could have better luck this time, Prince.
All right. Here. I couldn't be happier.
Be good now. Be a good boy. Ha! I've done it.
Mandy, managing to get into the saddle doesn't mean you can ride him. You're still not an expert enough horseman to manage this beast. Take my advice and give it a miss for now.
If I ride this, I'll be able to beat you.
We'll soon see how good you are, my son. Your foreign steed is no match for my Vira.
We'll see.
Your Highness,
Where's Mandy?
he's trying to ride the black horse. It's a fiery beast. I tried to dissuade him, but the prince is proud like his father. So he challenged the king to a race through the forest. Hiya! Hiya! Princess, where are you going? Your Highness!
Ha! Ha! Come on, Azazel! Faster! Ha! Bravo!
Come on, faster!
Right to heaven! Slow down, Azazel!
Caralai,
Gabriel.
an offering to your gods who have been so good to me.
The spirits told me you would return. But they are troubled today.
Oh, no gloomy predictions, please. It's all too good.
What happened?
A miracle. But first, promise to help me convince my father.
Please, tell me, Father. Why isn't it me in his place? What is it? Tell me, why you look at me like that? Your eyes look haunted. I'm afraid.
You just made a statement that was most significant. You said you wished you'd be killed instead of Mandy. Just suppose it were as you wished it. When I am dead, Jarma must have a new king. No one will ever notice he became you. Even I could hardly tell you apart.
No! It's obscene.
It is the will of the gods.
Maya, you must sacrifice your femininity for the good of your people. It's your duty. Your mother died giving birth to you two. I knew it would be impossible to marry again, because my plan was to concentrate on your education and ruling my land. It's as if the gods planned it in advance. Your face is the mirror image of Mandy's, and there is still time to prepare for when you take his place on the throne. To talk, to move, to think the way a man does.
Grief has upset your mind. You don't know what you're saying.
A man's grief is of no consequence. I am a king. The loss of a son is the greatest sorrow. But I must think of the kingdom. Maya, you know that we have no choice but to serve our country.
You have lost your son. Do you wish to destroy her life as well?
Unless of an heir. The barons will fight over the kingdom like packs of hungry dogs. They'll be foreigners, adventurers, like the Dutch mercenary. They'll start wars with each other. Think, where does that leave us?
Your daughter is a woman. She has the heart of a woman. And soon she'll love as a woman.
Never. No man will ever take my daughter from me. You help me, Lee. I know you can teach her to be a man. It won't be hard. You're a saint, a mystic.
That is blasphemy.
I believed you were my friend and I trusted you. Now I give orders.
You cannot bend nature to your will. I won't help you with this madness.
Then, in that case, I must kill you.
No! No! No, please. I'll obey you. I'll take my brother's place, whatever you wish, but no more death. Do not raise your hand against those who love you.
Indeed. You get into your brother's clothes while I return to the palace. I shall proclaim mourning throughout the land for the death of Princess Maya. Never call me a liar. When the funeral's over, you leave Jarma forever.
I want to marry her. As soon as possible.
But it's against our law.
What does that matter? It can be changed by the king. If he or my father object, we'll go elsewhere. What's he come here for?
This room reflects your personality. I like it. The soft velvet of your good manners covering the tough hide of your ambition.
Shall we get on with it? Just as you wish. I understand you're paid to protect the vested interests of France in the region. But according to Mr. Rood, your latest decisions with regard to the king are in conflict with those same interests. There's some unrest in Jarma, The populace is discontented, and so are the barons.
What's this about?
Extremely simple. Very soon, Jarm will be plunged into profound chaos. Quite impossible to govern. That's when we intervene to take up the reins of power.
I'm still baffled. Jarma's royal family is still firmly entrenched on the throne, and the economic slump related to the tea industry has been resolved.
Do I seem to be concerned with tea prices? I was talking about the fate of a dynasty.
Promise you won't say anything to Gabriel. Promise me. Maya is dead. I'm no more.
What's that eerie sound?
The sacred horns. There's been a death in the royal family.
Well, Bart, do you hear that?
What in hell have you done?
Don't you mean what has fate contrived to do? My informants tell me there was a bad accident and the heir to the throne is no more.
And you know what that means. The position of the king, already weak, is now virtually hopeless. And with no son to replace him, the barons and neighboring states will rip this country apart. And France might be impelled to lose her queen in the constant chess game with Indochina.
Unless someone enters the scene to take power and control with a very firm masculine grip.
Yourself, of course.
With your help, Bart. And the necessary cash to underwrite the enterprise.
Get out of here. You've miscalculated my intentions. You'll have to deal with the company. I'll report you for being the bandit you are, and you'll find your hanged for treason.
Don't do anything so rash, Bart. The man who will betray his own kind, that's the real traitor.
Get up now. Out!
Hey! Stop! I have the royal ring. Let me pass. You cannot. No one is allowed in the palace now. The prince? Where's the princess? What? You're the princess!
Gabriel!
Marianne!
Gabriel!
Stop there! Who is it, Marianne?
Get a hold of yourself now. You'll need a lot of courage. There's been an accident. Maya was thrown from a horse. I haven't even had a chance as a medic to look at her.
God, you're drunk!
I know. I'm drunk because she's gone. Maya's dead!
No!
Gabriel!
No!
Gabriel, come back! Gabriel!
Princess Maya was chasing her father and brother when the black stallion threw the prince. She dashed to him and was trampled in his place. The prince was saved by the intervention of the gods.
That's enough about your gods. I bet that monk is behind this. Why is the prince stuck in the palace? Why doesn't he show his face?
I saw him with my own eyes. He was watching vigil over her body. He will come out for the funeral tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Why are they in such a hurry to have the funeral?
Oh, stop it! You failed, that's what the truth of it is. If your mad scheme has compromised me, Bart will denounce me. But I won't be the scapegoat. If I go to hell, you come too. If he gets to Hong Kong, we're done for.
Then you must get there first. You go to Hong Kong, I'll look after things here. No point in hurrying. We need to be more patient. We still have one weapon. Slow yet clean.
Gabriel, open the door, will you? Gabriel, please, let me in. You mustn't allow this terrible thing to destroy you. Find the strength. Find the strength to face it and go on. Don't torture yourself. Listen to my advice. I went through the same thing with... Your mother passed on. I suffered initially. Then I fought it, Gabriel. I want you to know that whenever I opposed you, tried to run your life for you, it was for your own good and for no other reason.
Let me through! Let me through!
Stop that man!
Marty!
Pull them back.
Marty, let me see her!
Stop!
Just let me see her face! Once for the last time! Why did I come back to Jarma just for this? How could the gods be so cruel? Let me go! Marty! Marty, answer me!
I didn't expect to find you here. I thought you'd be at the funeral.
Foreigners aren't allowed. I prefer to cry alone.
I'm amazed to hear that. You speak as if you live like a hermit on your own, Doctor. An enchanting girl like you could easily find company.
Is there some other reason for this call?
I wondered if the medical report revealed the real reason for the princess's death. I imagine, as medical advisor to the court, you examined her thoroughly.
How does that concern you?
Let's say the fate of this kingdom is extremely dear to my heart. Everyone assumes my motives are selfish, but in reality they go well beyond profit and sheer greed. I'm just hoping that someday my ideas are going to create a strong and civilized state from this uncivilized jungle. It's something you stand to benefit from. For a start, this shack could be transformed into a decent hospital. Modern, hygienic, and efficient.
And you do all this just for Jarma?
Not entirely, also for you. You see, I think you deserve a...
You touch me again and I'll amputate your hand.
You'll find many changes soon in Jarma. And let me assure you, dearest Doctor, you'll be changing too.
Your trunk is ready, Monsieur Bar.
Good.
Native weapons only. No guns. Must look like a personal feud.
I just prayed my gods to protect you on this journey.
I wish you'd come with me to Hong Kong. We could marry there. Accept my love.
You make me so happy, but it's not necessary.
I asked you because I love you. Ferrari!
Run away, monsieur! Run away!
Damn them!
Time to get out of here. Hey, help that man. Come on, let's go!
With this ring, I thee wed, my darling. Oh.
How many must still die? How many more? I'm here, my brother. Who did this to you?
White man.
Where is your master's son, Gabriel?
At the funeral of the...
My sweet, darling Maya was dead. I stared at the flames that had taken her from me to another place, and I felt empty, drained of all feeling. Strangely, I felt a kind of relief. Maya was no more, and in a curious way, I too had gone, as if to keep her company.
Don't cry. I'm not leaving you. I refuse to.
You must go. Support. You can't disobey your father. Don't forget me. Just promise me that. Remember, the meaning of this knot is I'll never forget you, Gabby.
Gabriel. Gabriel.
My life is over and done.
Your life is sacred. Dying is no solution.
I have a right to die!
No, you do not. You must live and be strong because other deaths, other difficulties lie ahead to test you. Your father and Caroline.
What?
They are dead.
No.
Come. I will take you to them.
We never had time to be honest with each other. All we ever did was fight. I'm sorry. Who would do this?
The same man who has caused the death of Maya, Rud the Dutchman.
I'm telling you now, I got a reason for living.
I know what you are thinking, but you are wrong. Bloody revenge is no solution. You can't rush over life and death.
That's so unfair. He cannot go unpunished.
Be patient, Gabriel. You must prepare yourself. Now they are strong, and you're not ready. You still have so much to learn.
I'm learning to hate. This murderer has eventually got to pay for it.
Much more. You will fulfill your destiny. I shall take you away from Jana, my son. And when the time is right, you'll know, and you'll return.
How?
You'll just know. When your education is complete.
He took my hand as he led me away, and was like a father and mother to me. Only minutes before, I had felt as if I was on the threshold of death. Now my master was guiding me into my future, and I knew I was safe.
What is the sound of two hands? And what is the sound of one hand?
One hand? How can it make a sound without the other?
Yes, it does. And one day you will hear it.
Forgive me, Master, but it's hard for us in the West to understand things that seem to have no logic.
What is this?
An object dropping.
Newton, an Englishman, saw much more than that. The invisible law that governs the gravity of masses. You Europeans have explored nature to understand physical laws. But there are other laws that govern human existence. Invisible laws like that of gravity, but equally universal. You can unite the knowledge of your ancestors with that of ours, Gabriel. Don't surrender to your eyes. They only see hands and stones. There is more, much more in the world.
Bart was an honest man, and Jarma's independence is partly his doing. I lost my daughter, and my only true friend. I'm tired. It's like a terrible curse.
The death of Monsieur Bart was not caused by a curse, Your Majesty. It was more likely a vendetta. The investigations have revealed that he was having impure relations with a woman of Jarma, and we suspect her family.
It's past. Whether you catch the guilty party or not, it won't bring my friend back to life. What else do you want?
This just arrived from Hong Kong, Your Majesty. It was sent from the banker, Lotharius. The Bank of Indochina demands the immediate return of their loan with Bart's death. They no longer feel guaranteed.
That swine. He's trying to ruin us.
I warned you, sire. The French are greedy. You shouldn't have trusted them. They'll use this as an excuse to invade us.
I'll never let them overrun my country. As long as I live, the kingdom of Jarma is mine.
I am willing to offer my life for the independence of Jarma, Your Majesty. But perhaps the time for a compromise is due.
Then what do you suggest?
Rudd is on personal terms with the banker. He could intercede for us and renegotiate the conditions of the loan.
And for good reason. Bart knew what he was up to. He wants to be a drug baron.
What are you thinking, Your Majesty? The investigation...
That's enough. I shall investigate this. Have the Dutchman brought to the palace at once under armed guard. And this time I'm the one who'll be asking the questions.
Your Majesty, how am I supposed to interpret this summons to your court this morning? As an invitation or an arrest?
During the weeks you have been in Jarma, we all feel you have done a lot to make us content about the hospitality we have shown you.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Your donations to the hospital were very timely and I think more than generous. And we very much appreciate the supplies of rice from India you had sent us. It has helped my people overcome their great hunger. However, I have a strong conviction that all this generosity of yours is to deflect any suspicion that you are involved in crimes that would lead you to the scaffold.
Your Majesty, our inquiries revealed clearly that...
The inquiries into the death of Monsieur Bart, which were conducted by Loyan, are a rare example of zealous efficiency. But the proceedings were terminated in unusual haste, and I intend to reopen the case.
I bow to your authority, Your Majesty. But I'm sure you've another reason for bringing me here. It might have something to do with the bad news you just received from Hong Kong.
Someone keeps you well informed, I see.
If they didn't, I'd never have survived this bad old world, Your Majesty.
Get out. Out, all of you. I find you repellent, Mr. Rudd. I never for a moment liked you. You're about as trustworthy as a cobra, and as greedy as a hyena. But you have a quality I admire in a man. You're not intimidated by death.
For me, it is no hazard. When it calls on me, I shall be out. I know perfectly well why you brought me here. I'm the only one who can stop Lotharius and save Jarma from bankruptcy.
Presumption is a defect in financial affairs. You're in no position to put pressure on the Bank of Indochina.
But I can on Lotharius. I know his secrets, and that's all I need, Your Majesty. Made public, he couldn't go back to his own country. All I ask in exchange is that you accept a token gift from me. When the monks of Mount Athos discovered the virtues the poppy contained, they thought they'd found the antidote to human suffering, so they hid it from the world. But each one hid in his own cell, a personal supply.
So they were hypocrites.
On the contrary, Your Majesty. They wanted to inflict on themselves the temptation they had denied the people, because they wanted to prove they were strong enough to resist it.
And, did they succeed?
Now, Your Majesty, this drug is used in every single part of the earth.
I suppose. I cannot forbid my subjects something I'm too weak to resist myself.
That brown resin is pure opium obtained from poppies. This little silver box contains many hours of joy and peace, relief from the pain and misery of the world.
Escape from grief. That tortures me every hour of the day, and all through the night. I mustn't give in.
I made you a proposition on the birthday of your children, if you recall, which you refused then. But you will soon allow me to cultivate poppies for the production of opium, on my conditions.
If it suits me.
How long we spent, my master and I, hidden away there in that isolated place, I can no longer tell. I underwent a sort of training course to develop what he called the three treasures: my body, my energy, and my spirit. I was able to remain in that stone box for days on end without touching food or water. I was determined to train myself not to feel hunger, thirst, or the need to sleep. I was slowly learning how to control my body and my mind. What my master taught me were the principles used by the wise monks of Tibet and the dervishes of Africa, but they were hard for a Westerner to adopt. What looked so easy for him to perform became for me an arduous ordeal. Almost without realizing it, I was slowly becoming impervious to pain and gaining a knowledge of my own physical and mental potential, which up to then I had never appreciated. My master put me through a rigorous regime that strained me to the limit of my endurance. But even when I was utterly exhausted, I could not get the thought of Maya fully out of my mind. Maya, the only woman I would ever love, whom I believed I had lost forever.
Try again.
My arms haven't the strength.
It's not your arms, it's your head. You must empty your mind and concentrate on the target, but not with the eyes of a girl, with the heart of a man. It's the enemy. You must see like a man, not a woman. You have to hate with all the force that's in you. There's only one thing inside you. That's the desire to kill.
Father, here. Don't abandon me, brother.
I have to resist. I have to.
This better be the right place.
Then came the fateful night. The forces of evil were already crawling all over Jarma. Rud's men were heading for the secret place where I was being trained by my master. The wise man knew what would soon happen, but his voice never betrayed his emotions as he handed me the document that contained my destiny.
1,000 years ago, a race of warrior monks came down from the mountains of Shanang. They called themselves the Shy, the Splendid, and their symbol was the white elephant, which represents the strength of Jarma. It is said that those elephants still live up there in the cold north. As long as there's a white elephant, Jarma will survive.
But that's a legend.
All that you have learned in this brief period will be revealed to you one day, and the path you must follow will be clear. But I will no longer be by your side.
There's no reason for you to die yet.
The book says, "Here's the sacred elephant leaving the world behind. The creature of the darkness begins his dance of death. Then the last monk of Shanang will offer his life to save a young man of another race. He will, thanks to this book, lead Jarma back to the light. He will find the path of the white elephant. Here, take it. Now it is yours. Look after it, but ask me no more."
I left him, but I was troubled. I realized my initiation was complete, and my destiny lay ahead like a mysterious gaping void. But what I did not know was that these were the last words I would ever hear from my master's lips.
Follow me. No. What do you want? I'm not...
That night, as I lay sleeping fitfully in the vault of the temple, I had a dream that was to be repeated many times from then on.
In peacetime, the life of men passes smoothly and always remains the same, like a great flowing river. But there comes a time when the currents change, and that which seems to float serenely can suddenly be overturned and dragged down. It is at times like these that some men are called upon to find exceptional strength within themselves, and so it is that legends are born and great heroes.
I awoke with a sudden start.
Master? Master
And
Lee!
discovered to my horror that Lee had shut me up in the underground room to protect me from the terrible fight that was destined to ensue, which he knew would be the end of him.
Master Lee! Master!
Get him! Gabriel!
It's over here!
Oh well, we seem to have arrived a bit late. It's over for him. For a solitary monk, he put up a good fight. He deserves to be buried in a decent grave. I'd really like to know the reason they attacked him. Couldn't have been to rob him.
Who are you? What do you want?
Good morning. You're a heavy sleeper, boy.
Lee. Where's Lee?
Well, if you mean that fighting priest fellow of yours, he picked off quite a few before he bit the dust.
Murdered.
Don't ask me how you made it. Lucky. I like the lucky. Oh, don't worry about them. Cute, huh? They don't bite unless I tell them to.
What are you, a smuggler?
Oh, no. That sounds terrible. I'm an antique dealer. Yeah, that sounds a lot better. Massimo Mandelli, born in Rome, but citizen of the world. And now it's my turn to ask questions. Who are you?
Leave that alone, you thief!
Oh, you naughty boy. Be careful. You could show better manners towards the person who saved your life, don't you think? Well, for instance, you could start by telling me, what is a blue-eyed fellow, such as yourself, doing in a place like this, with this book, dressed like a shy monk? Huh? Well, we all have our secrets, but it's not healthy to keep things to yourself. Want some?
Nah.
You know what? It's weird how bad memories can kill you faster than malaria down here. What was her name?
Who?
Well, who else but a woman? Only a woman can reduce someone like you to such a state. Did she betray you?
They murdered her.
Was she pretty?
The prettiest in the world.
Must be the same one I met a long time ago. What's your name?
Gabriel.
Tell you what, Gabriel. Let's make a deal. All right. I'll take you to a place where we can bury him, and you tell me your story along the way.
For a moment this evening, I was able to believe that Mandy was alive again. You are wonderful. The time has come to act. You're ready at last. You will leave for Hong Kong alone in secret, taking the treasure of Jarma with you to auction. They thought they could beat me. The banker, that evil Dutchman. They planned to bring ruin to Jarma and obligate me to permit the cultivation of opium. But I shall beat them at their own game. Pay our debts. Now a treasure will bring in double what we owe that usurer to date.
Father, there's someone listening.
Shh! Quiet.
Oh, Majesty, I thought you called.
You were spying, huh? Listening to our conversation.
I swear, I
traitor. There are spies everywhere. But they'll never win. I'll never let them beat us, child.